Hi, and welcome to this small expert series about, making it in life. And today I'd like to talk about being a nobody and why being a nobody is the greatest way into becoming a somebody. So let me tell you a small story about being a nobody. We live in a world where, everybody wants to be special, right? And how do you stand out the most when everyone is special? When everybody is a somebody? Well, simple as that. By being a nobody. By not displaying anything. By not coming forward with like, oh, this is the show I'm putting out and I am so special and you have never seen. But by being you. By coming forth with the energy that you carry. With the specialty that you have, because of course we all are special, but the more I scream special, the lesser I am. There's fact number 2 about that. A somebody has a lot to lose. They have very high stakes they need to reach every time and excel them even. A nobody, they can just come forward and they bring with them what they got for the day. This is who they are today, now. Nothing to live up to, just them. And what it makes them is be calm. It calms their nervous system. It gives them a state of sincerity, a state of integrity, a state of authority. So let's say you're coming up on stage or into a meeting and you come as a nobody. You come as, I've been hired for this and that, and this is what I bring forth. Not, oh, look at the person who does it. Oh, look at their background. Look at the CV. But just like, this is what I'm paid to talk about or to present. Or this is what I had been asked to do for others. Well, then this is what I do. You have one major bonus on your side. And it is the fact that all you got to do is do what you've been asked to do. And people anyway will put you very low because you're not already being like, wow, I'm here. So they're like, oh, wow, they're there. So maybe they're even higher. No, they come with like little expectations. And little expectations is something very easy to exceed. And that's what you're going to do naturally. Without putting up the big show, without making a huge fuzz around the things you can and cannot do so well, but are part of the presentation anyways. When you come as you, as nobody you are, the nobodies we all are, being somebodies, then you just do. You just present, and people just listen because they're not trying to see the majestic being that you've built up or your CV has presented. They just listen. And when people just listen, when they have nothing to go against, nothing to like, oh, who she thinks she is, or wow, that CV, I don't know. When they just see you as a human being, this is when they connect. And this is when they hear what you're actually saying and not what they want to hear inside of what you're saying. Not what they want to find. Maybe find how and where you fail. Or maybe find what kind of pedestal they can put you on next time so you feel even smaller because, oh my God, you gotta live up to that now. It is a glorious thing to just be you because you allow people to listen and to see you. This is number 1. And number 2 is, let's say you're coming into a meeting and you are this nobody and you think that what you're presenting is neither amazing nor is it terrible. It just is what it is. Then also you don't have expectations towards your own presentation. You just take the content, you take what you got, and you bring it forward as it is, and you allow furthermore to be in the moment and to work with the energies that you have for the day. And sometimes we have days where we slept really bad, our energies are very low, which means we're not so much on guard, we're highly vulnerable. That vulnerability gives us a sense of connection, a sense of openness. Let's say other humans, they're not total psychopaths. They have the tendency to want to protect you because they notice subconsciously that you are vulnerable that day. So they will give you a little bit more softness, a little bit more openness. They will invite you in. When you come with a lot of stress, a lot of inner tension because you need to present, you need to live up to your own standards. People have this like, oh, that's what you're doing? Okay, so wow me. And then they won't allow you to be weak that day. They will take your weakness, your vulnerability as lack and not see it as, oh, maybe the person is a little vulnerable today, as I am sometimes. You can work with the room. You can work with the people. You are open because you don't need to concentrate and to focus on the things you quickly shoved into your knowledge, into your brain, because you think it is important even though it's not part of your usual really manifested knowledge, this like stuff that is integrated inside of you, that it has become part of your ID. But the stuff that you shoved into the presentation that you think is also important but is not really your core knowledge, when that stuff becomes important because you think you need to make it important, because you think you are so important and people need to see your importance, they will not allow you to make mistakes, as you won't allow yourself to make mistakes. You will not allow yourself to use the room for what it is, to maybe stand next to a wall and get the energy a little bit focused frontwards and feel a little protected behind you. You won't react or answer to what your body tells you to do, meaning, for example, hey, let's have a sip of water before we start, or maybe I choose a different leg to stand, or just walk around a bit because I have some extra energy and I want to work it out, not to mess up what I'm saying or presenting here. Being this nobody brings you into a state of fully inheriting, fully embodying the true you in the energy of the day that you're in, and allow you to listen and to move fluently between your inner world and the outer world and go into question and answer. And this is something, for example, in theater or in music, that is one of the most beautiful themes there is, when there is a question and answer and musicians or actors are capable of really going into this flow. When an actor, for example, knows their lines and they just say their lines, they are in a somebody mode. But when an actor knows their lines, allows themselves to forget the lines and to listen to their partner and answer in the way that their character has to answer because of their history, because of the shared momentum that they have with the other partner, you will anyway answer and you will say your lines, but you will say them as a human being. You will say them in answer to, and therefore become a somebody in the eyes of the other, but you are not telling them what they're supposed to see, but they are allowed to perceive you the way they want, which will be very close to what you're putting out, because you're not telling them what to do, you're allowing them to see you. And when we do that, people are so willing to step into that invitation. And also in music, when there's different instruments answering to one another and they really listen to the sound of the other instrument, to the breath, to the dynamics, and answer in that way. They answer, they take the energy in and they transform it into their own. This is when the audience gets into a state of complete bliss and complete magic and wonder, because they're witnessing something that is as life, happening as it comes and as it goes, and not happening as it is supposed to happen, which is something that is not very alive. It's very static, it's very perfectionized, and one thing is for certain, perfection is death. Perfection is something, if we strive for perfection and coming as a somebody is a perfectionized version of a human being, it's not alive, it's not interesting. Spare yourself the pressure. Take yourself out of this expectation of this, like raising the stakes of this living up to just being a nobody. You will anyway be somebody to the somebodies that want to listen, who are all equally at the same time nobodies and somebodies. Allow to get into the flow of life. Allow to get into this river, into this motion, into this question and answer. Just allow to develop as you go, because this is what life does. When a flower is like coming out of the earth and it's growing, and all of a sudden there's another flower that just grew faster because of its DNA or because it got a little bit more water or whatever, and it gives shade to that flower. That flower doesn't continue to grow straight and, well, takes away its own ability to really flourish and bloom. It does that on the go. And this is where we come into a field and we see a flower that's grown like that, and we're like, wow, those beautiful waves, isn't that stunning? But if the flower were growing continuously like that because it decided to be the somebody of a really straight growing flower and has no leaves anymore and is like really rotting because it doesn't get sunlight, we don't see it at all. We're just like, oh, there could be a better flower. Oh, I've seen nicer flowers than that. And you see the analogy, you see the picture. The more you allow to come as a nobody and to present everything you have just as it is, you allow people to pick what they find special. And the more open you are, the more friendly you come, the more you come with no expectations, there will be no or very little expectations towards you, and people tend to pick the things they really like because we are tribal. We try to see who's good for us and who's not. And when someone comes as like, I am the one here, they're a danger. When someone comes as like, oh, that's me, they're a possible, family member. So this was today's episode. It was short, it was brief, but I hope it helps you to really get into this world and have a holistic approach towards whatever you do. If you go on stage, if you present in front of a firm, if you build your family, if you're looking for a partner, it's all the same mechanisms, because the patterns we find in business are the same we find in the arts, are the same we find in nature as in relationships towards one another. I hope this helped you. My name is Esther, sending my love and wishing you a beautiful day. I hope you bloom.